that's cheesy. All right. I don't know. I haven't got that changed yet. Welcome, everyone. This is the Love Doctor live stream. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Love Doctor live stream. I guess I'm repeating myself at that point. I'm not even drunk. We are broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And we're welcoming everybody who's tuning in to say hello. I have a special guest. We had a slight accident, so we lost one special guest tonight. But I do have a special guest that I want to bring out for everyone right now. Please, let's welcome the fantastic, the musical, the incredibly charming Anthime Miller.
Chin chin. Oh, sorry.
That sour, is it a sour beer? Is what you said?
Forgive me.
We're waiting for everyone to kind of get logged in. We're just talking right now to entertain the people who are watching this on repeat. I've got a fresh bottle that I'm going to go. If you were to look at that, what kind of alcohol would you think that is? I
mean, so brown liquor it's not, doesn't look like scotch. I'd say mead.
It's a mead. Oh, because yes, I definitely love the honey. Love me the honeys. There's this is actually, it's a gin.
No.
Yes.
A brown gin?
It's a brown gin. It is made in Montreal, and it's infused with Earl Grey tea.
Oh.
So I they're not sponsoring me yet, but I'll mention them just in case they catch it. But it's called Madison Park Breakfast Tea, and this time of day is my morning. So I'm just gonna put a little bit into my glass, just pouring as it. I said a little bit, right? Maybe I should stop pouring.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. Just 2-3 fingers of that in there. And I've got myself a little bit of Fever Tree tonic. You know what? I'm talking like people are sponsoring me already, and we got people popping in who are saying hello. We just want to say, oh, it's the lovely Ms. Meow. Yeah, Perez is here. That is my gin. I know I know. Anthime. I figured Anthime might not have had a chance to watch a Love Doctor live stream yet to realize that I've been drinking that gin a lot. That's my third or fourth bottle in the past 5 or 6 shows. So
that's not that bad.
That's not that bad. And yes, Ms. Meow is going to be back on the show again at some point very soon. I did get a little bit of news that they are doing a layout redesign of the Wiggle Room so they could open up when they can open up. But at this point, we're still waiting. So sláinte to everyone who's out there.
Something. And
there we are. This live stream is now legal at 18. Yes, we are 18. Christopher, you're in Montreal. 16 is officially legal, but still a little creepy. So at 18, with my age, that's a little bit creepy as well. But you know, we're all welcoming and accepting of everyone here. And Anthime Miller, how have you been, beautiful? What is new?
Well, since last I saw you, I have been in New York City. So it's either been really, really, really lovely or super fucking dark. So, we love contrast, you know?
For those who are not watching, who have not paid attention to Anthime's Instagram or a lot of the Facebook stories he was doing, and I'm saying was doing because you've deleted a lot of the videos because you don't want face recognition software running through it. But Anthime has been out at the protests. You were at a group at one point where somebody actually tried to discredit the protest by starting looting, and you were right there. You had your camera.
Yeah.
You are doing the good fight for the people of America right now, and people of the world, just making sure that we have awareness all around. But that's, what you're doing is vital, and I want to thank you for that. I'm doing it in sign language. I've been saying thank you in sign language on the internet a lot. I'm not.
I like this one too. The hands together. That's like the thank you emoji.
Yeah, that is a good one too. It's also, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything further, but I was raised a good Catholic boy, so we have that. I love that I can make you blush. That's brilliant. But I guess it's also being out there for the protesters has helped you capture a lot of sun.
Truly,
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
you've got a good time. You have been assaulted by the police during these things.
But a half dozen times.
About a half dozen times, and I'm so glad that you are safe, and that your fingers are safe.
Same.
Because that would be greatly affect your life. For those, by the way, if anyone is tuning in, I just realized I have not prepped something I should have prepped, so I'm gonna run and sort of do that as quickly as I can. If you have any anonymous questions that you want to ask, you can go to the Love Doctor fan page and send them in, and that way I will see them. And though I will see who they're from, I will not announce who they're from. And we can answer those questions anonymously. I do have the little stack of cards here from the vault, and if you're brave enough to ask a question publicly, we'll put that you can just type your questions into the chat, and then I can bring it up, just like I'm bringing up this comment from Christopher. So yes, this live stream is now legal, and we're saying that once more just to drive home the creepiness. There's all right, let me just make sure that I get this all set up so I can actually see these questions when they're coming in anonymously. So what else have you been doing now that you've been in New York?
So I actually, before quarantine started, I was, trying to find different jobs. I worked at this one, I worked at this place called Sleep No More, which was basically like if you took a bunch of Alfred Hitchcock movies and like the story of Macbeth and put it in this old Chelsea meatpacking district club and kind of blended it and mixed it with a bunch of nudity. That's what you would get. I would stand around and make sure that people didn't, fuck too much or
too
vomit
much.
Too much. No, that was up to my discretion. That was part of the job description, I guess.
The charm.
Yeah, knowing where to draw that line.
Exactly. I want to welcome Denny Leger has tuned in to say hello, as well as Bashak. So she's apologizing for Christopher's comment, but Christopher right now is saying Slante. So let's have a cheers to that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bashak, for reining him in. I don't know if I should be thanking you for reining him in, but thank you. Oh, for commenting. That is for sure. That sounds like no. It's also the other thing is, and one of the you actually stated when you were talking about being at the protest. You're very handsome. You're very. Oh, hello! Somebody's behind you. Just coming. Waving. Yeah, just give a wave.
That's my boyfriend.
Ah,
that's Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Matthew.
The headphones.
Wait, what?
The way that they talk in Kath and Kim is not exaggerated.
Oh,
I just found out. I need a charger for my phone.
Oh, he's getting a charger for his phone. Hold on.
All right. Thank you. This is the beauty of actually being live on the internet. You never know what exactly is going to happen or be said. But okay. One of the things that you pointed out that you were doing while you were broadcasting or at the protests was that you recognize the fact that you're a tall man, and because of that, you were willing to put yourself between vulnerable protesters and police who were getting a little too violent. And I definitely want to, at this point, thank you for your service for doing that, and the fact that you were representing so many people by being out there. So thank you.
I appreciate that.
The protest did not reach the fever here in Montreal as they did in New York, but it was something that's it's definitely needs to be said and done here as well. So other than that, you've been good. You were working at a very fun club by the sounds of it. And for all the new people that are coming in, press the like button, the smile button, the heart button to let us know that you're here. Do you want to get into some questions right away, or would you want to play some music, or what would you like to do at this point? It's up to you. You're our special guest, Anthime. We have to apologize that Allison Wonderland. Allison Wonderland had an electronics issue that prevented her from actually joining us tonight. It's sort of sad that has happened, but we will try to have her on in the future. Do you want to try one of these questions?
She's in rural Quebec at the moment, right?
She is. She sent us a picture. She has Wi-Fi, but at the same time she's in a tent. So it's beauty of the Canadian infrastructure. But yeah, she had a lantern and everything that was available. Do you want to try one of these cards here where we wait for some people to send some questions in? Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's try it. All right. Okay. Now, some of these, and this is something I found out I needed to preface at one point. For anyone that's watching from away, Montreal is a multilingual city. And so some of the people who write questions, English is not the first language. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see it because I can't make that out right now. Dear Love Doctor, what is your favorite cocktail at the Wiggle Room? They want to try something new. So hopefully when the Wiggle Room opens up again, you can definitely try something new. They have one of the most popular would be the Dark and Stormy Daniels, but I keep it fairly simple by having just a gin and tonic myself, but I like the Brockman's gin. I also love the breakfast gin as well. Anthime, I've seen you enjoying a few cocktails at the Wiggle Room. Would you have a favorite?
Many. Yeah. I mean, so you know me, before performing, I'm always the same way. Like I actually get very, very nervous. And most of the time I show up with very little money. So I tend to start with like wine, and then I will spend the money that I have on a white Negroni. But if I'm not performing, there is one cocktail that I know will knock my socks off, and that's the Miss Meow. Miss Meow, 100% unilaterally, so good.
Miss Meow is here watching us tonight. So that is Miss Meow is actually the vintage vixen Montreal, or the whiskey showgirl. That's her many names that she has on the internet. So she is here listening to you right now. I know I'm a fan of Miss Meow. She's fantastic.
You taste delicious.
I do. I imagine, but I do not know myself. So there was. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that. I hope no one does. Christopher was saying, I loved that I just had to smile, and Cindy, and she would bring me a Dark and Stormy. Cindy is probably the most amazing server I have ever seen. I've seen people that show up like maybe twice or three times a year, and she would remember their drinks. She might not remember their names, but she remembers what they enjoyed drinking. She's just fantastic like that, with such an incredible memory for remembering people, and such a kind person as well. Thank you, Christopher. What I have heard about when the Wiggle Room is reopening, we are going to be, it would definitely be mentioned here, or be mentioned on the Love Doctor fan page almost immediately as soon as I know, and we'll be working on getting that information out to everybody so we can make sure the shows back are going to be as packed as the government will let us have it. Again, as packed as we can safely make it, because that is the key right now. We need to make sure that the Wiggle Room is going to be safe for everyone who's coming in, because that is utterly important. And on top of that, that also includes the performers who are going to be there, because the green rooms are a little bit tiny, and it's hard to keep socially distanced inside them. So we want to make sure that the artists are going to be safe, because we don't want the artists going there and getting sick as well. And one of the goals, is when the Wiggle Room does reopen, they're going to try to have a 24-hour burlesque-a-thon. So a whole show, 24 hours long, with the audience. You can come in and watch the show. We're aiming to break a world record. So I think that's impressive. Antime's going to take another drink. He's going to drink to that. All right. Moving on to the next question that we have here. And Ms. Meow, if you want to join us on right now, we do have an extra spot because we do have a hole in the audience, a hole in our screen right now. We could easily fit on a fourth window if you wanted to join in, due to the unexpected absence of the wonderful Allison Wonderland. This next question. Oh, Christopher saying it's going to be hard to socially distance the bathroom menage a trois, but he knows a special technique. Yes, Christopher's very famous. It's Anthime, I'm not sure you're familiar with the idea that in the wiggle room, the bathrooms are big enough for 3 people to have sex in. And Christopher has found out that the bathroom is big enough during intermission for one person to have sex 3 times alone. So I'm doing the math on that one.
I mean, first of all, it's impressive. Second of all, that sounds like that's pressing the limits. That's
definitely
exciting.
Definitely,
I'm impressed.
No, we're just going to move on. Bringing that question just a little bit larger. I think I can read it, but I'll read it here. Dear Love Doctor, how do I explain my animal balloon fetish to my partner? Well, I think that would. You might need to explain it to me, depending on it, because there's a difference between a fetish and a kink. Like a kink is something that you enjoy, that you get a lot of pleasure with. And unfortunately, Ms. Meow cannot join us online. But a fetish is something that you need to get off. So if you do explain that it is a fetish to your partner and it's something you need, it is fairly harmless. It doesn't. I mean, except for the fact that somebody might choke on a little piece of rubber if it bursts. That would be the high danger, I think, of a balloon animal fetish. But it's I'm trying to figure out how that would work. The only balloon animal I've ever successfully really made has been the snake. Just putting the math out there. All right, it'd be better if I could make you laugh.
An infinity sign.
the infinity sign. Yeah, there's that one as well. We'll move on to the next question. Dear Love Doctor, and please remember to send in any questions that you have. I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger for my bad eyes. Dear Love Doctor, I recently went through a breakup after a 5-year relationship. Is 29 too old to start dating again? Oh, sweet child. But 29 is not too old to start dating again. What actually, Anthime, what was your thoughts on the balloon animal fetish? How would you explain that to a partner?
So again, cheers to your distinction between fetish and kink. But I mean, I feel first of all, anything just approached very nicely. Sort of, I like approaching sensitive subjects while on a walk.
It gives them a chance to run.
Also, like, you're in a public place, so if you need to call for help, but no, I don't see anything particularly. I've had actually many friends who, by many I think I mean 3 or 4, who have done a lot of different work with like the ballooning, I think they call it, like cam work with balloons, and it's really cute.
I've also heard them called lunars.
Lunars, yeah,
with the 2 L's, 2 O's. Sorry.
I just like anything else, open and honestly. I mean,
communication is always a good recipe for when you're talking about things. Bringing it up in the moment could be a little bit difficult if all of a sudden everyone's getting intimate and you say, "Oh, yeah, you want to see me make a little doggy?" I don't think that's a condom. Somebody pulls that out of their pocket. That seems a bit narrow. we'll move on to another question. Dear Love Doctor, my 3 adult kids are annoying and single. I love how this is nice big block printing. How can I inspire them to date more often? As a person who's been a parent, if you have loud sex, that tends to kind of make them want to leave the house more often. But again, it's let them take it at their time. You don't want to force anyone into a relationship. You don't want to make somebody think that they need to be dating, because dating is not a way to complete yourself. You're not looking for something outside to make yourself better. But if you can inspire them to go out more often, which is so dangerous at this time. At that time, I would have said, give them $20, tell them to go to the movie. But it's because $20 is about the ticket for one person. Prices have dropped now, but I'm not sure if I want to be at a theater at this point. I'm going to ask everyone who's watching in chat, would you go to a movie theater now? Because I know that movie theaters, even in Montreal, have reopened at reduced prices. Let us know if you would actually take that up as a chance. And please don't mention that you'd be using it as an inexpensive love hotel.
Depends on which theater.
Depends on which theater. Some theaters are a bit more made for that, I guess. You got to love the fact that you can get T-shirts at Cinema L'Amour in Montreal. So it's a landmark. It's what it is. There we are. I'm just checking. No, there's no anonymous questions have come in as of yet. And let's. This is look. I can feel the thickness of this card. This card is a little it's a little larger, and you can see that it's aged a little bit. It's a little darker yellow, and it's a glossier touch. So it's an older card. So this has come out of the vault. And it's, dear Love Doctor, should I try a matchmaker? I love the fact that they went to a friend. They put it in brackets because they weren't sure how to spell it, maybe, but they had a friend printed above it, matchmaker. And again, this comes down to the fact that it's an international audience that comes to the Wiggle Room, and so English may not have been the first language. So should I try a matchmaker? Don't try any matchmaker. Try a matchmaker who will take the time to get to know you and make good, solid recommendations. I see no problem with a matchmaker. It's not a. I don't. What's your thoughts, Anthime?
I was about to say, obviously it depends on what, your relationship to the matchmaker, or rather the endorsements or the reviews that you've had from other people. But I don't know. Also, whenever I hear matchmaker, I also think now, in these days, about just online dating in general, or spending money on online dating sites. The only online dating sites that I know that you have to spend money on are the ones that are typically the worst, really just bad. I've had some bad stories about eHarmony, Match.com.
I've used neither, and so I've never really paid attention to the reviews. So always pay attention to the reviews before you get any kind of matchmaker, be it electronic or in person. And nothing beats getting to know a person privately, like on a walk or at a coffee shop, etc. These are great ways to meet new people or have that first conversation with a new person that you've only recently met. Christopher is saying, what movie theaters are open? He would go. So please be safe when you do so, Christopher. I believe that they are enforcing social distancing while you're in the seats. But it's my big concern about movie theaters being open is how well they normally clean it. The sticky steps, and that's not even at Cinema L'Amour. The sticky steps and the sticky seats and all the armrests that are I don't know if they're taking extra time or bringing in extra staff to clean it, but doesn't seem to be a good thing. Though I think it's $5 or $5.99 is the regular price for a ticket now at this point. And Christopher is also saying we've recently learned that surfaces are not an effective infection vector. Washing your hands, stay away from others, eat popcorn, and enjoy. Is his advice at that. And Harmony is for guitarists. BB Harmony is for brass players. And that he's saying that joke specifically for you. Should we Chin Chin? Well, let's hear it. Lande. Do you want to bring up a little bit of music, or do we while we wait for some people to type out some questions, or should we take some more from the cards? It's up to you. As a guest, it's guest choice.
Let me pop open a beer while you do one more question.
Mm-hmm.
And pardon me. Oh.
All right, you're going to pop open a beer.
Say that again? I'm sorry.
You're going to pop open a beer, and I'm going to take one more question.
Yeah.
Is that it? All right. Here we go. Let's see what's on this question.
Yes.
Dear Love Doctor, why can't I find the love of my life? It sounds at that point, anyone who takes a question to that point to say it's they're putting a lot of the onus on another person. What you need to do is concentrate on yourself and find a person that you want to share yourself with, who hopefully wants to share themselves with you. Hello, Matthew. That's Anthime is back. Okay. So we want to make sure that you find that person who you want to share with. Don't expect everything to just click right away. A partnership, a true partnership, or love of your life, if you want to say that there's only the one, is something you grow into. It's not something that happens automatically right away. And Anthime, I'll take another question while you're setting up, or are you good to go?
Sure.
What do you want to tell us about what you're about to play?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because now I'm like 3 beers in, and I actually I was really worried about how suddenly I feel a lot less perfectionist. Also, this is the first time I've really performed for people in about since March 1st. It's been a second.
I only want you to perform if you're comfortable performing, but I know that this is a loving space, and the people tuning in are fans of you. Like, whenever you've been at the Wiggle Room, you just blow everyone away with how amazing you are. And I want you to only perform if you're comfortable performing. I don't want to be pushing you into it.
Don't worry, I'm just fine. It's the question of what I should perform. Also, I wanted to show this to you in terms of what you should wear for proper PPE when you go to the movie theater. I got, especially Cinema L'Amour, I got this new face mask, and I think it's especially appropriate. If I can get it over these fucking headphones. Sorry. Hold on.
I think you put it on your Instagram. I thought it was amazing there, but I want everyone here to get the full effect.
I think it was taken yeah. I think it's very appropriate.
It is. If only we could get something like that for your president.
Yeah,
and even if it isn't a mask, just to do.
Oh, could you imagine if my mouth was actually this wide? What a different life I'd have.
Only if there was a throat to match, right? It's
first of all, how dare you? Second of all, what gave you the right? Third of all, we all have to work towards something.
Point taken. Now I'm blushing. You know what my favorite is for you to play, but it's whatever you want to play.
What's your fave?
My favorite, and the fact that it's here and we can actually lift the recording afterwards would be the rats are chewing the sheets.
You know what's so funny too is that I wrote that song not only just because my ex-boyfriend spit in my mouth.
Bashak is asking if you're going to perform with the mask on.
Honestly, though, the profile of this mask looks really good. Yeah, sure. I mean, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Fuck it. Why not? Hold on. Wait, what do you think is the weirder way of me drinking a beer? Or no, it's definitely this way. Oh, very appropriate. That's okay.
Very, very appropriate for the beer.
Yeah. No, let's do it. It's been a second since I've performed this. And actually, I think you're right. It's like, this is a piece of music that I wrote because I really wanted to use this one text, this one like little tiny lyric from a John Adams opera called Nixon in China. Seriously, it's like about Nixon's visit to China. And in this one like early aria, he says like, the rats begin to chew the sheets. And like, there was something about it. I was probably really like drunk or crossfaded at the time. There was something about it that felt really sexy, because I've definitely bit sheets. Like I've definitely had sheets in my mouth. So, somebody's asking for cake farts, but maybe later. I don't know, because I also don't own that song. So,
and that is a potential problem with. I've already had a strike for having a cover on it from copyright from Sony at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. So bear with me. How does it sound?
It sounded good. It sounded like you're tuning, or not tuning, but just practice. The sound is coming across clear.
Okay. So, well, I'll see you when I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you at the end. Yeah, I wrote this song. I wrote this song after my ex-boyfriend spit in my mouth for the first time, and I experienced a living paradox of like a simultaneous, like intense eroticism, but also like abject horror simultaneously. One of my favorite feelings. So. When first we met, I thought you were the answer. When first we met, I thought you were the one. When first we met, I thought he'll take a chance. Maybe I'll understand. But then, in the still of the night, in the heat of my room, losing my sight, the rats begin to chew the sheets. The rats begin to chew the sheets. The rats begin to chew the sheets. I don't need you to tell me that I'm beautiful or lovely. I don't need you to tell me that you'll never leave or shun me. What I need for you to use me. 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 When next we met, I was a little sore. When next we met, I knew I needed more. When next we met, I thought he took a chance. Maybe I'll understand. But then, in the still of the night, in the heat of my room, losing my sight, the rats begin to chew the sheets. The rats begin to chew the sheets. rats begin to chew the sheets. I don't need you to hold me or to kiss me or to hug me. I don't need you to tell me that you'll never leave or shun me. What I need, I need for you to use me. 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 Well, shit.
Anthime Miller.
Well, shit. Oh, it's nice to be back. Yeah, I feel like I could use an Aperol Spritz enema at this point right now.
Woo,
girl, sweating like a whore in church.
Sorry, I just enjoy the song and the passion and the everything behind that song. Anthime Miller, you can follow Anthime on Instagram, and it's Anthime Miller on Venmo as well. If you want to make donations directly to Anthime, but you can always support the show if you go to Linktree. I'm going to put this on the bottom as well. It's a Linktree. So it's linktr.ee/Paul Ash. That's my manager. He actually, if you make a donation, the top one says buy me a drink. With the amount of people that we have watching, if everybody just goes and puts $8 towards it, that would be shared with Anthime and the show. Christopher is saying amazing. Bashak is saying Apocalyptica meets Anthony and the Johnsons. Gorgeous. You always win over a crowd. You handsome, beautiful devil. You provide such great art, and I'm so happy that I've managed to have you not only on the Wiggle Room, the Vaudeville stage, but also here on this virtual stage. As poor as the technology that I have to actually present that, and you won't mind if we actually take that and put it on the on Instagram, on the Love Doctor's Instagram or something of that nature?
No, not at all. I have very few recordings of that, so
it'd be good. No, it's not going to be the highest quality. I think there might have been a frame freeze or two as we did it. We'll see how the recording will come out afterwards. But that's the beauty of live internet shows. And I think we'll go back to another card here. I get my fingers there. I hope I clip my nails. I don't want to be showing my nails if I'm looking untidy. And here, let's bring that a little bit bigger to make it easy to see. I love how you lean in just to read this. Oh, are you vaping? Is that it?
Yeah, it's I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I want to,
Go ahead. No, finish the thought.
After playing that song, it's important to have some self-care.
Self-care
you put yourself out there. So anyway.
Dear Love Doctor, what's the kinkiest thing you've ever been asked to do, and did you agree to it? And I'll ask you. Let you answer that one first, team, especially following that song.
The kink. So again, let's go back to earlier and remember that the difference between a fetish and a kink, which is an important distinction with this question. Honestly, probably drinking someone's piss.
Ooh, that is. It's kind of weird because I've been asked to be on the other end of that. To be on the showering end of that.
Same.
It wasn't asked to aim for a mouth or anything of that nature. but I had been asked. And because we're gentlemen, we won't answer the second part of that question, was whether or not we have, or at least I'm not. All right, which is which is probably an answer in its own right at this point. Yeah. To pull up the next question. Hey, Mom. If my mother's watching this, I'd be very surprised, considering she's been passed for a number of years. I love her dearly. Dear Love Doctor, how do I know? I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. How do I know that I have truly found the one? Logging for monogamy. All right. What's your thoughts on this question, Anthime?
I've always actually very much valued the answers that you've given to questions like these during Vaudeville, because I agree with them more or less all the time. I can't remember an instance where I disagreed with them, but as coming from a person who is polyamorous, there are lots and lots of people for whom monogamy doesn't work, and there's lots of people for whom monogamy really does. And I also I think so too, using that same logic. I don't love the idea of the one. I have had, a number of really, really, really incredible and affirming and lovely relationships with different people. And I think for me, the concept of the one would sort of try and quantify them, which I think is actually would be a bit of a fool's errand for me. Also, I think there are many instances where I have encounters or hookups, if you like, with people that are like life affirming and changing, and then I will I'll see them for a week and I'll never see them again, and they they provide me. Sometimes they provide me with something that I otherwise would have never had, and I really, really needed at that moment.
The one for the moment,
if you like.
Somebody laughs in the background.
I know. I think he's watching Kath and Kim.
I think your answer was beautiful, and it sounded very much from the heart, and rang very true to me as well. I believe that the one is a construct. It does work for some people. I believe monogamy works for people. I believe that polyamory works for people. And just finding somebody else who monogamy works for, and making sure that you have these clear boundaries in the discussions of what the relationship's expectations are, and then working towards keeping it and keeping it up, because that's like, some relationships are not meant to last, but if you have a relationship that can last, that you do the work to maintain and keep up, because finding somebody doesn't end. That's not the end of the story. That should only be the beginning of the story, especially if you are aiming for monogamy and a long-time relationship. To say that somebody can be the only one, it would be sad if you missed the only one, or if you only had a week together before one of you passed. That would be such a tragedy. But at the same time, finding that one for you at the moment and making that moment last for the rest of your lives is the romantic fantasy that a lot of people have, and it just takes the work to make it happen if monogamy is how you're wired, because not everyone is wired for that, and some people are happily alone. They don't need anyone in their lives on that nature, and so we shouldn't be just stressing about the people who are monogamous versus polyamorous. We need to mention the people that don't feel the need to be in a relationship at all, and that is okay as well. So I'm not drinking enough. I'm getting way too philosophical without it. It's not good. I'm better with the philosophy if I've had a few drinks, I believe. So Solange, Christopher usually keeps me nice and honest with making sure I've had some drinks. I don't see anybody is tuning in from Twitch at this point. I'm not sure if we get dropped off of Twitch. We shouldn't be, because we do follow all of Twitch's guidelines when it comes to language content, sexual content. We are registered as being an 18+ channel on Twitch. So I really hope they haven't cut me off, because trying to grow that there. For those of you, if anyone uses Twitch and they're watching on another platform, can you just go over to Twitch and it's Tag Amusements, all one word, and just click follow and like there, because that helps build the channel's respectability to the Twitch format. And we have another question on up. Let's bring this up. No, that didn't bring it up. That should bring. Did I just break something on this computer?
Relationship that is.
That is.
What?
I'm not. There we go. All right,
yeah.
It popped up on its own. Dear Love Doctor, you always seem to. Oh, this is a slanche. We just got a slanche come in. So cheers. I'm going to take a big drink.
Something.
Dear Love Doctor, you always seem to know about every area of love and relationships. Is that all from practical experience, or is some of it from book smarts? Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. Let's get back there. I've had my heart broken. Some of it is from practical experience. I've been an asshole, and I've trying to be a better human being. But there's also good books out there. Before we actually went on, Anthime mentioned The Ethical Slut, which is just a fantastic book as well. It's a person who loves books, and I've known a quote for a long time. I didn't realize that it was a John Waters quote. So Anthime, if you would care to give that quote.
So I was setting up, and I just moved into this apartment like 2 weeks ago, so my setup is a bit fluid at this point, and
the artwork on the wall looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. And I was trying to figure out how to make my laptop higher, and so I took one of the handful of books that I have on this giant shelf, which is next to my like workstation and things. And one of the books was The Ethical Slut, and then I brought up the John Waters quote, like if you go home with somebody and they don't have books on their shelves, don't fuck them, which is a generally good rule of thumb, I'd say. But they're minimalists.
It definitely, and there's a lot of people who collect ebooks, but I was brought up in a household where the bookshelf was a side of mental wealth, if anything. If it may not have been financial wealth, it meant something that people valued what was written. And Bashak is giving us, she's let us know that we are live on Twitch, so we are there. So hopefully we're trying to build the audience there as well. Twitch is a bit more, how can I say it? It's nicer to the artists than say YouTube is. So it's if I can build up an audience there, I won't abandon YouTube or Facebook, but I would try to get everything moving there a little bit more. And we have another question card. Should we go to? We've been almost 50 minutes at this point.
Have we really?
Yeah, it's time. I've missed you, Anthime.
It's been a second. It's been a second.
It feels like that's your new catchphrase. It's been a second. I'm hearing that. I'm going to bring this up to the screen. Is Dear Love Doctor, how do you turn down a man that's twice your age and says age doesn't matter? I don't fully understand this question. Are you saying that age doesn't matter to you, or that they are saying age doesn't matter? I think the easiest way to turn someone down is say, no, thanks, I'm not interested. If they're saying, but age doesn't matter, well, it matters to me. And if you're not going to respect my views there, personally, if you meet somebody and their age doesn't matter, as long as everyone's legal, please keep it fucking legal. Then I don't see what the problem is, as long as everybody's interested in everybody else. But if somebody's saying, well, no, don't discriminate against me because I'm old or I'm too young, well, then they're telling you that they're not valuing your view on this or your attraction level to them. And I think that it kind of shows how they would treat you. And Bashak is saying, Bashak is asking that we have another song before we run out. So we will make sure that happens. Anthime, whenever you're ready, just let us know, and we'll start the questions. Now, what's your take on that question?
I mean, depending on the platform of the overture, block them. I mean,
that would be even creepier if it was just a message that came in.
Somebody
slid into your DMs with a age doesn't matter.
I like how it suddenly becomes a Simpsons character, like a Harvey Fierstein. Age doesn't matter, I'm young at heart.
Don't ruin your voice before you sing again.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. You have a trained voice.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd say block them, but I also like turning down somebody is. I have a hard time. I don't know. I like sometimes the best way, and this is not necessarily the most ethical way, but like sometimes the best way for me is to ghost. I'm not necessarily very proud of it, but I tend to like ignore it, which I think is no consent is or no response is a response.
True. I find it's. I find that sometimes doesn't deter people. They'll think, and then they'll start hammering from maybe a couple different angles. If you block them on one platform, they'll find another to block you on. If it's somebody you deal with in real life, and also the nice letdown, I find is also a bad thing, because the nice letdown usually involves giving them some sort of hope. And to give them some sort of hope means they can latch on. If you can be direct, polite, and firm the first time, then they can possibly go on to find somebody else that they can that might be more appropriate for them or be more receptive to them to approach. But if they're pining over you, then you're holding them back at the same time.
That's a good point.
It's about common sense and kindness, and at the same time, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, as in they're dangerous, then make sure you have help ready if it's not something that you're able to handle. But that would be the only point of that that I would say. So, what do you say, Anthime? Do you say a song or another question first?
Let's do another song, and while I think of the right, let's do another question, and then because I really should play another original, and there's unfortunately like the only other originals I have that have sung text are not.
If you want to play an instrumental, I have no problem with that either. I just hearing you play is just. I've missed it. I've missed it on team. I've missed you. I missed having you nearby. I hope you. This is kind of creepy that I'm whispering in your ears at this point, but it's.
Do you want to watch me fillet this beer bottle?
This is a special skills episode of the Love Doctor. All right. Well, this is a very simple question. Is, dear Love Doctor, what is the best sex position? The one that both or all people involved enjoy. That's kind of the important thing. Personally, it can change up even in the middle of the action. What is the best position for people? I'm old, fat, lazy man, so being on the bottom in a 69 is a great way, because it's obvious I love to eat.
Same. Well put.
I'll just the beautiful cello is up, and so that ends that question. We're gonna have a song and maybe one more question before we're done.
So I think this song is probably, this is actually the first song that I ever wrote for solo cello. This was back when I moved to New York the first time, back in like 2011, and I had just left Montreal. I was living off of Frontenac, and and then I moved to my hometown in upstate New York called Glens Falls. And then I moved to Washington Heights in the span of maybe a month and a half. And so I was comparing like all of the different ambient noises of the places, because Frontenac Neck at the time was like very, very quiet. And Glens Falls was, Glens Falls is a proper city, but it's in the foothills of the Adirondacks and it's right on the Hudson River. So it's actually like, it tends to be considered very quiet also, but it's very loud with wildlife. And we were very close to a dam. And so you had this like regular white noise, and we were close to a highway. So you had this sound of like exiting 18-wheelers, which was like a very, very specific and loud sound that you would hear 24 hours a day. And then fucking New York City, which is, you especially Washington Heights, you would open the window in the summertime and you'd hear like the George Washington Bridge, so similar like sounds of cars. You would hear, people arguing over games of dominoes happening on the sidewalk, and like occasional gunshots in the subway, and like radically different ambient noises. And to have experienced them in such rapid succession, like it helped for me to try and like write something about it. Yes. Let me see if I can get a bit further away from the mic so that it's not too loud.
Right. So everyone is anti-Miller. Anthime Miller. Oh,
Sante.
Sante, You are a master of the craft. We have an anonymous question has come in.
Oh, an anonymous question.
An anonymous question. So the public will not get to know who has written this question, but it's Dear Love Doctor, what's your favorite part of a woman's body other than the brains? Is it the breasts, or perhaps the breasts? That is how the question was written. I want to answer this question kind of seriously as well. Anthime, do you have any thoughts before I start?
I mean, I have always loved breasts since since birth. You know, breasts really did it for me. I mean, now I tend to spend a little bit less time with them. But I know that would that my medium be clay, I would love sculpting them out of clay or marble. You know, breasts are nice. They're cute. They're gorgeous. They're lovely. Those are my thoughts.
They are good thoughts. I'm obviously being led with the question, and I do want to turn it on a. I find there's always something, like if I'm interested in someone, there's always something about their body that I find spectacular, and they might not find it spectacular themselves, but they will. There's always something. I like to say that I'm attracted to poise, like how somebody carries themselves, because it shows a certain level of grace that just kind of makes me hold on. And I've always disliked the people who say, "Oh, I'm an ass man," or "I'm a breast man," or etc. Because you're at that point you're just loving a lump of meat. It doesn't matter who's attached to it. But again, if you can find something about the people that you are attracted to sort of define physically, I don't find that as offensive, if I can say that. I did spend a long time, say probably in my late teens to mid 20s, finding, and this is going to sound a little weird, but this is the kind of show that happens on, the back of a woman's neck. Just the fact that, like, with a short haircut, you see it, or if the hair is pulled back and up into a bun, or if it's just long enough hair that comes and it's pulled over a shoulder, you get to. It's sort of like that secret little area, and it probably helped that I had partners in that period who really enjoyed being kissed on the back of the neck as well, and how their bodies responded to something that would noticeably be innocent, and it's something that can be displayed in public without shocking the prudes, but it's still at the same time finding that it's sexy, and it's responsive to the touch, etc.
It's funny that you bring that up, because I've talked about this a handful of times with different friends. My first like explicit like crush in middle school, somebody that I knew that I was like sexually attracted to. I was attracted to the way that their ankles looked. Like, yes. I was attracted at the way that his soccer shoes, like his ankle socks looked with his soccer shoes, like going up his leg. And then like it extended to like the way his wrist looked with his like Livestrong bracelet. I don't know. It was very specific to this one guy. And I was like 12. I was 12 years old. And I don't know, like because now I see the same thing all the time, like ankle socks, and it's like, oh yeah, he's got a nice ankle. Oh, that reminds me of Blake. But it's not manifested into this whole thing. But like poise, I don't know, poise, like there's something.
It's something that's not mentioned enough.
Yeah,
like, it's something you see and you recognize, but you don't see enough people talk about it. It's weird. The poise is as a brand name for something, but it's, I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's also it's a level of grace.
When I have to, when I have to manufacture poise in a private setting, it's not unusual for me to put on a pair of heels. When I have to manufacture poise in a public setting where I can't, dress up, like when I was working in my hometown in politics a lot, if I had to do something that was really scary, I would put on a tie. I would put on that costume. I would put on the costume of the people I was trying to like work with. Like I would put on a suit and tie, and it's all a costume. I don't know. It's like,
I'm not sure if it's your French language pulling through, but the fact that you called it a costume, as I greatly appreciate the fact that we have these costumes that we wear when we're in public, to blend and to make ourselves better accessible to others, which is a thing.
True. It's very true.
But I don't know. I had my posture corrected as I was growing up. I was told to make sure I always, sat upright and the shoulders back and all that. So when I see somebody who seems to be doing it effortlessly, maybe there's some attraction thrown in there. In that I know it.
It's sexy.
But there is you alluded to it, and I just want to confirm that there is something physically about all the partners that you've had, the people, the ones that you remember, that there is a physical feature about them that just kind of makes you go, yeah, that was right for them in that time. And I love, you have your beard, but I can still see the dimples that smile is bringing up. So I'd say Slanche, but my drink is empty. We have been over an hour at this point. Do you want to do one last question, or we should leave it on that beautiful note?
Honestly, let's test our luck. I'd love to see a last question.
All right, let's go to the questions here. Bringing it up.
I knew it was the right thing.
All right. Just make that a little bit larger. Dear love.
I thought it said
love
why
doctor.
mom. I thought it said why mom like ass, not why men. Oh, whatever.
Oh, why men like ass and other likes boobs. Again, remembering that English is not the first language of all the people who write these questions. Preferences. People have different preferences. Again, I really hope that they're loving more than just the lumps of meat, even as beautiful as some of those lumps of meat might be. Different people have different preferences, and that's okay. Being different is okay. Anthime.
What's really nice? Like, I know the perfect response to this is that during COVID, the only thing that I did for the first 3 months when quarantined with my boyfriend was move between the bed, the couch, and the kitchen, and I developed some particularly supple breasts that he actually really likes, and something that historically has made me experience some intense body dysmorphia actually make me feel really nice and really sexy. So, I mean, while he and I are both ass men, big quotes, I guess we're now boob men as well.
See, you're not limited to one thing that you have to like. And again, it's I think the fact having an accepting partner sort of makes everyone themselves more happy with their own body. So when you are with your partner, try to find what if there's changes in their bodies, which happens over time. Try to find the parts of the bodies that you're still appreciative of, and be appreciative of them. Show them that you care for them. I mean, obviously, you're caring for their mind and their soul, but you can also care for the body as well, and show them that level of appreciation.
Well put.
My pleasure, Anthime. I'm saying that because I'm become quite the fat man over COVID. It's all right. That was meant to be funny.
Same.
But You're still handsome and beautiful, and you've been doing such amazing work on the streets of New York. So there's no way I find no fault in you, Anthime Miller. You're a fantastic person. You've been a wonderful guest. Thank you for playing a few songs for us. Thank you, everybody who's
My
been
pleasure.
watching. If you care to support the channel, I know we've had like last week we hit over 3,000 views of Love Doctor shows. And we're making it free on the internet. But if you want to support the channel going forward, I know I'm not making a lot of money in lockdown. Anthime, I'm not sure what your job situation is during lockdown, but Anthime Miller's Venmo is running along the bottom there. And I'm just going to replace this with a link tree that has the buy a drink link on it. If you're watching on YouTube, there's the spread the love button that's at the top. Both of those to donate to the shows. And that would be shared with the artists who have been on this week. Thank you very much. This has been the Love Doctor. This has been the Love Doctor live stream. When we have word about the Wiggle Room, we will definitely be sharing it with all of you. We love you very much. Good night.
Good night.